chief guest of today's program, Dr. Bisimal, former Vice Chancellor, JIS University, Dr. A.K. Singh, sir, former Vice Chancellor, Vijayaraja Scindia University, Gwalior, and former DDG NRM, Dr. P.K. Misra, former Director and former President of Indian Association of Soil and Water Conservationists, and other executive of association, Dr. Bhatnagar Sahab, Dr. P.K. Srivastava, Dean from Gujarat, Navsari University, Navsari Forestry College. Fortunately, I think shifted to engineering, but earlier looking after the engineering college. And many academicians from Central Agricultural Universities, SUs, and other academia, other general universities, students. This is a mega occasion, particularly for discussion on a key issues, world water, and of course on the event of the World Water Day. So as we know, the theme water and gender with campaign launches, particularly where water flows, equality grows. So with this campaign, World Water Day 2026, initiated by UN organization, and this is the second time, sir. I would like to say that this is the second time. In 1959, the theme was women and water, direct women, now coming to the gender and how to equate our equality. Then the women, thereafter, this year theme focusing on safe water, sanitation, and human rights and critical enablers of gender equality. And rightly the topic chosen by our keynote speaker, that stressing on all these points and keywords. World Bank reports also highlights global population heads toward nearly 10 billion by 2050, and the current agriculture water management system can sustainably support food production for only about 3.4 billion people. And we have to target to 10 billion by 2050. So at present, less than half of the today's population of 8 billion even not supporting with the current water management system. So as we see, one study reflects, while because the topic particularly for this event is water and gender, so globally women tends to consume more water per capita than men, but not because of higher personal use like drinking or bathing. The difference comes from roles, responsibilities, and indirect water use, especially in rural and developing regions. As we know, women are the primary manager of household water. In rural areas, particularly in most of the managements, male dominant management, but of course, as far the water is concerned, domestic use, so women are primary manager and they use cooking, cleaning, washing, clothes, child care and hygiene. In agriculture, if we see, so women contribute heavily in water intensive tasks like nursery raising, transplanting, livestock care, while men may be involved more in irrigation infrastructure development and pumping. So in a few studies, particularly in Uttarakhand, women spends 2 to 6 hours per day in some parts. And in other parts, in particularly in Jharkhand and West Bengal, what I collected some data, in water fetching, they consume more than 6 hours. And one study indicates that study finding around 20 years back in Uttarakhand, in fetching water from spring to the home, women travel the distance between Delhi to Mumbai in a year. So that is the hardship, and that is the pertinent topic, particularly chosen by the as a theme for the this World Water Day. So, with this, I'm requesting President of Association, Dr. M. Madhu, to say a few words on this occasion.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Amrish Kumar ji. Sabka namaskar and uh, have a happy international the Water Day. And I thank profusely all of you for joining this the brainstorming discussion. The respected and Honorable ex-Vice Chancellor Bimal Chandra Malji and Dr. A.K. Singh Saab, again ex-Honorable Vice Chancellor, and Dr. P.K. Mishra ji, the respected director, ex-director, and also the ex-president of the Indian Association of Soil and Water Conservation, Dr. Rajiv Singh ji, Dr. Ramanjit, Dr. Trisha Rai, and distinguished the expert, water, particularly the water expert, the executive committee, the members, and scientist colleagues, and also the colleagues joined from other countries, and the student, and those who are joined from other states, some state agencies, and other colleagues. I warmly welcome to this International Water Day on behalf of Indian Association of Soil and Water Conservation and also Indian Institute of Soil and Water Conservation. With respect to the water, we are discussing, we have a learned speaker and also the panel discussion in this session. But only thing is, even we have observed from our own experience, particularly in the watershed management, when the water it will going to increase, then normally ourselves we advocated some of the commercial and also the water loving crops, and in likely that is has induced both much more extraction of the groundwater. This is quite normally it is happened particularly in the southern states. Since being a gender, this thematic area is concerned, each one of us, whether it is in India or in the abroad, whatever the country, irrespective of the country, normally the woman gender play a major role with respect to the household water is concerned. If the water is not there, tapped water is not there, either from the own source or from the other source, supplier source, that definitely much more worried the family member is women's. And particularly in the rural area, children are also involved in fetching of water is concerned. The major concern is in the present generation is that number of brains or mind increased awareness about the where the water is being generated. Something some people also new generation people they may also think that the water can be prepared, but it cannot be prepared, but only it can be the conserved. That kind of mindset normally we tend to increase in the younger mind until unless this the awareness and the water saving mechanism is built up in an integrated approach, it is very difficult to achieve. Of course, the different statistics are there that we need not to discuss, And as such, 20 to 25 or even 30% of the population, it is suffering due to the water crisis. One thing I would like to flag is that always we try to the increase the productivity and also the water productivity is concerned. At the global level, we are losing nearly 43 to 45% of food we are wasting. But nobody will think about reducing the food wastage also directly or indirectly creating the water scarcity and also the water related issues. And of course, population is the major crisis that also we need to address apart from other integrated approach of water management. And in many of the discussion and also some of the leading news, they say that the conservation, either water or soil, other resources through the landscape management, the particularly the watershed management, is the key to the increase the water availability is concerned. Yeah, with this, some of my viewpoint, I'm extremely happy to welcome Vimal Chandra Malsab. He has agreed to the speak related to the thematic area, and also I warmly welcome our the former director Dr. P.K. Misraji and other colleagues, including Dr. Anil Kumar Singh ji, for this discussion. I hope we may get some good thinking output and outcome for the water as such. Dhanyavad, thank you very much. Once again, I welcome you all.
Thank you, sir. Really, around 4 billion population of the world and the water is scarce, means two-thirds of the population, rightly pointed out. So, before keynote speaker, this is my proud privilege to introduce Dr. Bimal Chandra Mal. Professor Bimal Chandra Mal did his BTech, MTech, and PhD from IIT Kharagpur, followed by a postdoctoral course from Colorado State University, USA. He joined as an assistant engineer in the government West Bengal, followed by several assignments in India and abroad. Major part of his life he taught at IIT Kharagpur. He, along with two other professors, established the College of Agriculture Engineering, and of course, whatever engineering college at Central Agriculture University, Dr. Rajendra Prasad Central Agriculture University, Pusa, of course, the foundation led by him, and also nourished that one at the initial stage. And thereafter, I also joined there as a dean in that college. He is responsible for developing a newly introduced discipline at IIT Kharagpur, particularly aquacultural engineering. That is, we can say, the parallel discipline are more agriculture engineers involved in this particular discipline. And this is the leading discipline at IIT Kharagpur. He was heading the agriculture and food engineering department 2005 to 2008. In 2010 February, Professor Mal joined as the Vice Chancellor of Chhattisgarh Swami Vivekanand Technical University, Vilai. And 2015, after retirement from IIT, he joined as a first Vice Chancellor of the newly established JIS University. So, of course, one college and one university established by Dr. B.C. Mal. And after retirement, after that, he taught as an adjunct professor at IIT Kharagpur. He contributed, of course, his profession by writing 5 textbooks of various level for the UG agricultural engineering or particularly for engineering water resources, also useful that book for research scholars and also for the stakeholders who are working in area of the water resource management. That is the highly useful book with multiple authors, and Dr. Ashish Pandey is also joining here, and he is also author of that book. And he guided 18 PhD and 51 MTech students. Of course, this is a large number. He received 9 sponsored research projects and 10 consultancy projects. He is the reviewer of many international and international journals. He has been chairman, member of many national committees. He has been the member of the American Society of Agricultural and Biological Engineers, several professional bodies. Laureate, his laurels include the Most Outstanding Textbook Award, Commendation Award, and the Fellow of ISA, first position in AmTech, Ford Foundation Fellowship for Postdoctoral Training, Lifetime Achievements Award from the 33rd World Environment Congress, and another Lifetime Achievements Award from the Indian Water Resource Society. Best Vice Chancellor of the year 2013, ISA Gold Medal Distinguished Alumnus Award of IIT Kharagpur. He has been connected with a few social and voluntary organizations like Science Center, Midnapur, and he is also settled at Midnapur itself. Foundation for Excellence, USA, Green World Innovation, Kharagpur, Vidyasagar Talent, Hunt, Midnapur, and many others. Dr. Mal has been the president, received the prestigious Nehru Award from the Prime Minister of India in the Indian Science Congress in 2002. From his donations, many poor students receive fellowship. He is also actively involved for the social activity and empowering the children's for the education. He is a widely traveled person both in the country and abroad. He visited 23 countries in 6 continents for various academic purposes, including visiting professor in Stuttgart University, Germany with Dad Fellowship, Alimaya University, Ethiopia, under World Bank project. After joining CSVTU Vilai as the Vice Chancellor, Professor Mal brought about many excellent reforms that helped the university to be conferred Emerging Technological University of the Year Award by the World Management Congress held at New Delhi in December 2021. I am happy to share with you he became member of Indian Association of Soil Water Conservation in 1977, and he published his first MTech research paper in our journal, Indian Journal of Soil Conservation in 1978. So thank you very much, sir. With this association and water resources, particularly academician, a number of students, they are on leading position. Out of that, I am also one of them, and I am requesting for your deliberation. So please share, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Amorish Kumar, for telling so many good things about me. And then, well, President of this Association ISWC, Dr. Madhu, Vice President, Dr. Amorish Kumar, then Dr. Singh, Chief Editor, I think he's Dr. Singh, isn't it? Chief Editor.
Yeah, Dr. Raju Singh.
Yeah. Then other executive body members, Professor Anil Kumar Singh, former Vice Chancellor, Professor Misra, former Director, and all other respected members, and anybody else whosoever has joined this meeting. I thank you all and good evening to you all. So now I'll start my talk. I don't know whether I can really justify or not, but at this old age, 77, I published my paper in this journal, and I'm also 77 years of age now. So you can see the PPT.
Yeah, visible,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. So Um, I'll go to the next one. So we want to be the change which we want to see in the world, And as you say, the theme is where the water flows, equality grows. Because women are the main victims, they are the sufferer uh, of water scarcity. And wherever there is water scarcity, it is the women who have to carry and I say just remove this one. This line we have to so that the whole thing is visible. Yeah, 1 minute. That is to be just a minute. I think in the whole PPT visible, no, probably no. There is a little problem. Yeah. Mm.
Huh. Visible
Uh,
and moving. There are four
Moving.
visuals we are seeing.
Okay, okay. So some photographs I collected, the women collecting water, So the burden of collection, as you are telling, it comes on them only out of three households. Some two household, the two household, it is the women, the girls, mainly the girl child that carrying the water, spending a lot of time, and then when they are going out, there is no sanitation facility in that case at home, so they have to go outside, and there is lack of safety, privacy, and all other problems are there. The risk of abuse, assault on women, and it also makes it difficult to manage their menstrual hygienic condition, and as a result, the girls often remain absent from the schools, or sometimes they leave the school. So these are some of the problems they face. So you can see these some of these photographs from different countries of the world. And this is the photograph I took when I was in Ethiopia, a city known as Harar, that is on the southeastern part of Ethiopia, where there is water scarcity. And I asked the people whether they take bath. They told that they take bath after about a month, you know. So I told why? They say why yelam. Wah means in Amharic language, water. Yelam means no, it's not there. So they have got used to it, but then it's not a very good thing. But they are compelled to do it, so that once in a month or so they take bath. There is, and we also used to face some difficulty, but we are somehow managing. So we can see the situation. Now, water action agenda, we have to be, this was of course in 2003, that was the agenda that be the change. That means the promises which are made by the individual on the campaign that will contribute to the water action agenda. And in 2023, uh, it is a collection of the voluntary commitment from whom? From the government, from the different companies, organizations, individuals, and members of the public, and then so that they could deliver the rapid progress on internationally agreed water and sanitation targets. And that is called as SDG 6, that is Sustainable Development Goal 6, yeah, and sanitation for all by 2030. But unfortunately, that has not been done. Seriously off the track now. That SDG 6, which we wanted, we are off that. Because there is sometimes the water cycle is uncertain, there is dysfunctioning of the water cycle, and so it causes problems like health to hunger, gender to jobs, education to industry, and disasters to peace. So they are all the problem, and rapid transformative change is needed. And everybody, every one of us has got some, I mean, whatever small it may be, some responsibility. And if everyone tries to do something collectively, something good will come. So subsequently, I'll try to discuss some of these issues. So these figures, that statistics, I think I need not show you. You all know those who are related to the water. That fresh water is 3%. That does not mean 3% water is available. Out of that 3%, only 1% of fresh water is there in lakes and stream. This is 1% of the 3%, not the 1% of the whole thing. And then groundwater is less than 1% of the global water. And I'll go to the next one. I think this one also this is the showing the hydrology cycle. Yes. Now India has got 4% of the total average annual runoff of the world, but we have to support 18% of the population. Although the annual precipitation is something like 400 million hectare meter, that is 4,000 billion cubic meter, but 75% of it occurs during the 3 months of the monsoon period. That is 3,000 billion cubic meter occurs at that time. And utilizing surface water already is only 690 billion cubic meter. And replaceable groundwater, that is on a sustainable basis, we can use 432 billion cubic meter. That gives us 1122 billion cubic meter. And uh, as you see that per capita water availability is reducing every day. Why? It's mainly due to explosion of population. Population is growing. See, people like us were born immediately after the independence. At this time, there was food crisis, the food production was low, and but water availability was high at that time. In 1955, itself, it was 5,300 meter cube per capita uh, uh, annually. Now it has come down in 2025 to 1,341. That is about 4 times less. And the population has also grown 4 times more at that time. It was 35 crores. And now it is 140 crores. That is 1.4 billion now. Now there is regional disparity. Why? Because some areas are hilly areas like Arunachal Pradesh, where they enjoy 100 lakh liters per individual because of the plentiful of monsoon. Whereas places like Ladakh has to manage nearly 1 lakh liter. And this 1 lakh or 100 lakh liter, this is for everything, for your food production, is total water available divided by the population. And the Himalayan basin, they have the 60% of the water resources, but only 10% of the population live there. And uh, the compounded by human activity like agriculture that account for 80% of water use. Water use 80%. Now, from this map, you can see that the least water available is about 1 lakh liter, that is in Ladakh. And in the northern states like UP 2.5, Delhi 1.5, Haryana 3, Punjab 3.5, Rajasthan 4, and so on. And you go to northeastern states, you find 80, 50, 55. And this side go down, I think Pondicherry 1.2, and so on. Daman 1.8. So these are regional disparity. And as we know that irrigation consumes the maximum water, 80% of the water, followed by domestic, industry, power, etc. So that is, uh, we have to take all care to save the water in the irrigation system has to be efficient. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen. So although India is one of the wettest countries in the world, we say it is one of the wettest countries because the average rainfall is something like 1400 millimeter annual. But rainfall is highly uneven with time and space. In Rajasthan, it's very low. In northeastern, it's maybe 5,000 millimeter. And there are 40 effective rain days only. And out of that 4,000 billion cubic meter of rainfall that we receive over a geographical area from 329 million hectares, that only 600 billion cubic meter used so far. Everything cannot be used because we cannot store everything. A large part of it has to flow to the ocean. And our food grain production, when we are born at that time, it was about 50 million tons. You know, people are hungry, even with population of 35 crores, that we 0.35 billion, call it. Uh, but now we have a population of some 1.4 billion, but the food grain production is 7 times more, 357 million tons. And you know, first green revolution that took place was in 1976. Then many people must have told that our forefathers were not very intelligent. They did not take care of the natural resources. They could not utilize. That's why with the lower population, we have to suffer. But it may happen the way we are going. After 50 years, our grandchildren may say that our forefathers were idiots. Or somebody may say, it is slightly wrong, may say they are all fools. They have utilized the natural resources in such a manner that we are not getting anything. They have destroyed the water sources, they have destroyed the land and everything. So we are dying for want of food and for bad environment and so on. So we talk of integrated water resources management. That means it is not only water, along with it comes the land, crop, etc. to maximize the resultant economic and social welfare in an equitable manner. And so that the environment is not compromised, sustainability is there. So those things we have to see. This thing, most of you being people or a person from water resources, you know how it happens. And see, in India, still you'll find this kind of water application where a lot of water is being simply wasted. Flood irrigation is there, and maybe only 15 to 20% is utilized, and rest is wasted. This kind of thing happen. Now, next 2, 3 slides, which I will be showing, that is based on my experience, mainly I took some, what do you call, field experience in Gandakumar, and that is in North Bihar, East Champaran district, near the town of Motihari. So, from my observations, I have written this point. That most of the farmers do not know that they are using excess water. The farmers are not aware of that fact. And when it's a canal command, they do not pay according to the volume of water used. They pay according to the area that they are irrigating. So they don't bother much because if he's irrigating 1 acre, he pays say 500 rupees. But he's not paying according to the volume of water he's using. And they suffer from fear psychosis. That okay, water may not be available in near future, so let's fill the root zone of the soil fully or more than fully. And the poor application efficiency due to unevenness of land and poor quality of land leveling, that is also not there. And, and as a whole, the farmers do not know the technique of applying proper quantity of water. As I will be showing in the next slide, you understand this. And they do not know the ill effects of excess irrigation. If you tell him that you are wasting water, he does not care. Water is coming from the government, from everywhere. So let everybody else suffer. Why should I suffer? But when you tell him that yes, you are polluting the groundwater, your fertilizer is also wasted because it's going below the root zone, probably to some extent he tries to understand because he wasting his fertilizer. So these all is from my personal experience I'm talking. Now see, I'm showing you the stage of a typical check basin irrigation. Here at the bottom, what I have shown is the main channel is there. There is no channel connecting all these 5 plots. First, this plot is irrigated, then they cut the barn, and then barn, it goes to the next one, then this is irrigated, then to the next one, then to the next one, next to the 5th one. Now, let's say that as per the grid root zone depth, which may be at one time 1 meter, at some time when it's not fully grown, 60 centimeter, and then apparent specificity of the soil maybe 1.4. So considering all those things, then let's say that 22% is the field capacity, and when it's irrigating, the water availability most able to maybe 16%. So this comes to, let's say, some 7, 8 centimeter. So that's the depth of irrigation you need. By the time you apply that at the last plot, 7 centimeter, first plot, this is probably 25 centimeter, you know, because the water is passing the opportunity time, infiltration opportunity time is very large for this plot and a little less for this. This may be 25 centimeter, this may be 20, this may be 15, this may be 12, and this may be 7, 8, 9, whatever it is. So that's what is the field really is happening. And this common area, there are some officers, agriculture officers who are supposed to teach them about the water management. Unfortunately, when I discuss with them, most of the officers, they also do not know the technique of applying proper quantity of water. Even they do not understand the meaning of what is 6 centimeter, 7 centimeter, and what is this, what does this depth mean. And even I've seen the agronomists doing PhD. Please, if there is, please don't mind. I'm not talking about everybody. Few agronomists, at least I have come across that they are conducting their experiments for their PhD. They are telling, sir, I applied 6 centimeter of water. Who you applied 6 centimeter? He doesn't know. So these kind of things are there. So what is my suggestion? Water management specialists must be posted in all command areas. And those officers should have thorough knowledge about the water management techniques. And they should be trained by the water management experts. And block level training should take place. And we should create awareness among the farmers that what is the benefit of proper water management. If you don't manage it properly, what is going to happen? And then there is another problem. In our country, in most of the places, maybe Punjab, Haryana, there are exceptions, that land consolidation is not there. one man has got 1 hectare of land, and it is fragmented in 5 different places. And there, it's water management is a real problem. If we have the land consolidation by legislation, and you just leave a channel that this is the volume of water will be given to you, you have to manage your whole 1 hectare of land. Probably he'll be able to do that. So land consolidation is another requirement. So at land leveling, here just I have shown that how the nowadays even a laser land leveling, because see the thing is that when you are having a border or a furrow irrigation, the slope of the furrow or the border will depend upon the type of soil, then stream size. So if it is a coarse soil, sandy loam soil, the slope should be more. Clay soil, slope should be less, maybe 0.1%, 0.05%. Sandy soil, it may be 0.2%, 0.3%, like that. But and then if the stream size is larger, then you can have even less slope, like that. So all these things should be considered. There are design process are there. Even in my book also I've given the process. In other books also is available. So accordingly, the land leveling works should be taken out. Now, yeah, farmers sometimes they are not very sure, and sometimes the canal release is also not proper. So canal release should take place only when there is requirement of water. And wherever groundwater is available in the canal command, it has been seen in the Kosi command of Bihar that the water table was rising those days and salinity was developing. So conjunctive use of surface and groundwater should take place, and government should not construct those tubewells. Responsibility should be given to the farmers by giving technical or financial assistance, so that then only they will use the water more efficiently. Now you see, this is the ideal case how check machine should be made. Here there's a channel going in between and 5 plots on each side, so that they can individually irrigate it. And then you can have proper depth of irrigation. May not be, suppose this is a 15 meter by 20 meter plot. It's not that whole plot will have same depth, but at least if you, the distribution, whatever is here, the same kind of distribution will take place in other plot also. It won't become 25 centimeter where the requirement is only 7 centimeter or 6 centimeter. It may become 8 centimeter. So this kind of thing should be there. And uh, especially I find that in our states or in southern states also, throughout the year they are growing rice crop, the paddy crop is grown, even in sandy loam soil. So the low water requiring crop should be introduced in such cases. So just this irrigation method, the traditional method of irrigation, the surface method, in which there are these things, border irrigation method, check basin, then furrow irrigation method. Nowadays, the surge flow method of irrigation has also come, but surge flow is not very much applicable for low land holding. In US and other countries have seen that, and in the advanced, we have the micro irrigation, sprinkler, drip, etc. And micro irrigation, of course, the efficiency will be certainly higher, and we know how the micro irrigation either in sprinkler or drip takes place. So this is known to you. Uh, in Israel, long back in 1950, this drip vertical irrigation was developed. And in India, it started after 20 years, 1970. The first place where early research on drip irrigation started, that was Tamil Nadu Agricultural University, Coimbatore. And by 1992, it went up to 55,000 hectares and 225,000 hectares by 98. And total micro irrigation till now is about 13.78 million hectares, out of which about half is under drip, 6.112 is under sprinkler related things. And Indian Committee on that is INCID, they say that the 6.112 million hectares, that this can go up to 10.5 million hectares if properly implemented. And Government of India is also providing subsidy for this. Now, we come to one most important thing, widely spoken thing nowadays, Prime Minister Krishi Sinchai Yojana, 2016 to 25, whatever progress has taken, AIBP, that means Accelerated Irrigation Benefit Program, the potential is 29.22 lakh hectares. Then Prime Minister कृषि सिंचाई योजना हर खेत को पानी, and then surface minor irrigation and RRR, that is repair, renovation, and restoration of the water bodies. Under that, 88.55 thousand hectares uh, have been, I mean, that potential, and 29,779 wells have been completed. And under PDMC, that means per drop, more crop, under the 96.83 lakh hectares have been covered. So more work is going on. Even the topmost person in the country, he also aware of this problem. This is the schematic diagram of irrigation, starting from the source, the filter, the flow meter, and then after that it comes to the somewhere, and this thing is known to you all. And here are some of the this thing how uh, uh, apply the soluble fertilizer, which you call as fertigation, the venturi system without application of any additional power or energy. Uh, it can suck the thing from this container where there is a soluble fertilizer. So that's the venturi system. Venturi will have a high velocity with a low pressure, so that you can have fertigation. Yeah, some of this is the automatic, so that means that moisture level content that will give a signal, and the pump can be automatically start or it can be started. Uh, as per the Committee on Irrigation Drainage report, about 80 crops are suitable for the method of irrigation. In fact, already we are using fruit and vegetable crops, coconut, cotton, and sugarcane also. And there has been area increase from 500 hectares during the 1980s to about 3.5 hectares in 2000. Now, I've seen in Maharashtra, especially the western part like Rahuri, etc., the sugarcane is grown in a large area. And sugarcane is a almost annual crop, year round it grows. The water consumption is very high. So, there this is very effective. Sugarcane, and it can be used for pomegranate, mango, and all other fruit crops also. And this is, this is spread mainly in the states of this drip irrigation: Gujarat, Maharashtra, Andhra, Karnataka. They are the main states in which the drip irrigation has grown. There is also water analysis, what is the staying is that is your water requirement is less, cost saving is higher, water saving is there, more area can be brought under this thing, and so on. And weakness, high initial cost, lack of social awareness, significantly vary the this thing operation opportunity, because you are getting better quality food, you get better price. And when you have been irrigating 1 acre, you um, irrigate 1.3 acre, like that. And threats are there with our farmers. Many are still illiterate, poor farmers. The land holding is small. Here are some of the this is SWOT analysis. Here are some of the photographs like your center pivot irrigation system, then the trailer system, and so on. Especially in the advanced country, they are using in USA this center pivoted in one rotation. It will irrigate some 80 acres of wheat crop. In our country, that much land holding is not there. So there are some of the just photographs. There are some micro sprinkler. This one again from my personal experience. There is an organization known as SPWD, Society for Promotion of Wasteland Development, and they have been taking up activities related to wasteland development. So, in Jharkhand, Ranchi area, then Purulia, Bankura, etc., they have been working, and they gave us the responsibility to evaluate their work. So during the year 98 to 99, we tried to evaluate this. As you can have a look, the soil at many places after this erosion, it has become like this. They have been gradually trying to develop it by constructing bonds, terraces, afforestation, etc. And then, as you see, this is a very high slope. Uh, the next plot is much lower than the previous plot, and so on. And water holding capacity is very low. But again, wherever they get water, they start growing rice crop. So these soils are porous, water holding capacity is low. rainfall also is comparatively low, and there are nutrients like nitrogen, phosphate, organic carbon is also poor. And they are not really, truly speaking, they are not suitable for rice cultivation, especially during the summer season, during this period. In a heavy clay soil, the requirement of water, as I took some readings long back, maybe 76, 77, etc. Heavy clay soil, the water requirement is only 100 centimeter for the whole season of the rice crop in this summer season. Whereas for such uh, light soil, it goes up to 250 centimeter. And unfortunately, wherever surface of ground is available, they try to grow paddy. And food habit is also bad, especially my state and neighboring states. They like to eat rice only. Although as I saw, rice is not nutritionally that good, but still we eat. I said, this is showing overexploitation of groundwater. And see, here the villages where we did the works under SPWD, and here they got some water from the water harvesting tank, they started growing rice crop. Whereas the surrounding land is like this. So, under such situation, there should be a basis or rain-fed ecosystem. That means dry land, whatever research like we have done Hyderabad, Frida is there. So those results should be applied here, and efforts must be made to dismantle and disseminate those dry land technologies and generate new ones, and it will be very useful for such areas. And then watershed development for the yields of the rain-fed crop and widening of the seed revolution to cover millet, oilseed, pulses, fruits, vegetables. These things should be encouraged there instead of going on the rice crop. And farming system research to develop the location-specific technology must be intensified in such areas. Our Prime Minister, he told that millet, how the millet is useful, and International Millet Day was celebrated in 2023 on 18th of March at New Delhi at IRI. Now, so we have to make the gray areas green, and so that we go for second green revolution. And there should be three-pronged strategy. One is the watershed management, hybrid technology, and small farm mechanization. Water harvesting. Water harvesting already, it's going on at many places. In fact, Tamil Nadu solved much of its water problem through water harvesting only. Although it is not very, what we call effective as yet throughout the country, but work is going on. And from the ancient time, people knew that they have to harvest the water. At that time, they did not know how to drill a tube well. They have to depend on the harvested water, so they have been doing it from the ancient times, and then they have been digging ponds and such things. But they are some of the rainwater collection tanks. Rooftop water harvesting. If a man has got even a small house with 1,000 square feet, that is 100 square meter roof area, if he can harvest at least 60 to 70% of the rainfall, everything cannot be harvested. Some part has to go out, the water has to go out, the rest of the part will be harvested and stored in underground tank. Then throughout the year, he can meet the demand of the family, at least for drinking water and washing and such things. It cannot be used for irrigation, but for all other domestic purposes, that water can be useful. These are some of the conservation work in watershed. We are conserve land. Now I'll come to a very important aspect, enhancements of nutritional water productivity. See, we should not just eat to fill our stomach. Sometimes we eat a lot of rice, etc., it fills our stomach. But that should not be the criteria or idea nowadays if human being wants to survive. So we have to go for the nutrition. And what is NWP? As you know, it is defined as the harvest in kg per hectare. Then per kg, how much nutrient it contains, that is the NP, nutritional content of the product, which will be nutritional unit, as I will say in the next slide, per kg, divided by the water used for growing that crop. So that NWP should be maximized. Now you can see here some food commodity, wheat, rice, maize, etc. Water input for 1 kg of the product. Wheat requires 1159, rice requires 1408, maize 710, potato only 105. Pulses requires a lot of water, or say soybean, but then you have to go to the other side also. Just productivity in your seed, energy, protein, fat, calcium. See, the energy in wheat is more than this one, rice. And this potato has the maximum energy per unit of water. In fact, the Western country, what do they do? They don't eat much rice. Rice is not available in the cold country. They are not able to grow. So they eat potato in different forms. So we have to think of that also. And maize is much better than either rice or wheat. Then we have the groundnut. And then comes to protein also. Protein, potato is good in all terms. See, whether it is energy, protein, fat we don't need, but calcium also it is good. So like that we have to see the items which are good in terms of nutritional water productivity instead of just trying to fill our stomach. And also not only that, when there is a submerged rice field condition, a lot of methane gas is generated from there, which is nothing but it is a greenhouse gas. So it leads to global warming. So for that also, the growing of paddy has to be limited, and the food habit of the people also has to be changed. And as you see, potato is best in terms of yield per unit of water. Now we go to the, yes, this one. Again, some food commodities are there like tomato, onion, banana, etc. etc. Beef, pork, poultry, egg. I find that all the meat items like beef, pork, poultry, they are consumer of a lot of water. Beef is the maximum, and that way in productivity is minimum, and in terms of energy or protein or fat per unit of water, not the per kg of that food item, per meter cube of water, that's very low. Egg is exception, that is better. Milk is good. Again, butter is horrible because its water productivity is very, very less. That way, tomato, onion, uh, egg, milk, they could be better. So tomato, as a whole, maize, wheat, potato, soybean, egg, milk, tomato have high nutritional water productivity values. Therefore, the food habits have to change so that human beings consume more food commodities with higher NWP. Actually, the cropping pattern also should change so that these crops with high NWP values should be available to the consumer at low price. Then I'll come to water and aquaculture. See, fish is not a consumer of water. It needs water for its survival. So if we can use the same water both for fish as well as for crop, then certainly it will be better. This shows some raceway culture where the water is flowing and then it is ultimately going to the crop field and the fish is growing inside the other fish feeders. So a raceway is a flow-through system in which water enters the culture system from one end and goes out through the other one. There are certain design criteria which I cannot discuss now. Integrated agri-aquaculture system. This is from my personal experience. I had an ICR project. Now that was like this. In the eastern zone of the country, a typical farmer will have a fish pond. He'll have a tube well for irrigating the crop, and he has a crop field. So what he does, he irrigates the crop from his tube well, and in the pond he has limited number of fish because if he stocks more, then there will be pollution. So his stocking density may be 1 to 1.5 per square meter, then in an hectare of 10,000, it may be 10,000 to 15,000. But I advocated more. What I did, there some ponds I was constructing. I told that you try to do 3.5, even 5. 5 means in the 1 hectare, there will be 50,000. So when you stock more fish, stocking density high, then what happens? Pollution takes place, nitrogen, nitrogen, orthophosphate, organic carbon, etc. increase. And the visual oxygen reduces. The so-called polluted water for the fish is enriched water for the crop. So you grow some crops in the adjacent lands and don't put the tubewell water in the crop. Don't use the so-called polluted water for irrigation, which is slightly rich in nitrogenous and phosphatic fertilizer. And then use the tubewell water after a little bit of aeration that will allow it to fall from the top. So by the time it falls into the pond, it gets aerated. And that solved the problem. I'll show some results also of that. We have solved the line pond because the IIT Kharagpur area, this land is very porous, water can't be retained. So we did some polythene lining, and you can see the pond in water and fish culture here. And we are being gradually lined, and we have some of the crop field. Okay, so you can see the tomato crop and also culture Indian major carbs like Rohu, Katla, and Mirigal in this with 2, 3.5 and 5 number per square meter in place of 1 to 1.5 practiced by the farmers. This is intensified actually. And you can see the this is okra crop, bindi at the side of the pond being irrigated by this water. So the stocking density, we tried 20,000 to 50,000. And for the first time, the 50,000 fingerlings per hectare was reported. And then we also uh, try to see what happens if we don't do any water exchange or aeration, stagnant water. Then many fish die, the yield will be very poor. Then we do only water exchange. That means we take out part of the water when we find the water quality is bad, and then put the tubewell water in the pond. And both water exchange and aeration were followed. And that is the best practice actually. So you can see the result of this one. And when you follow the best practice, you can get up to 15 ton per hectare with aeration and water exchange, the yield of fish. Otherwise, some 3.65 to 6.48 tons. And this tomato yield went up to about 66 ton per hectare. And okra, that is bhindi, 8.78 to 11 tons per hectare. So this is one result which I try to advocate. And the two person who did PhD under this project, they are working in the government system and trying to advocate this one. You can see it's a view of the field adjacent to the pond. Some site like bottle gold, papaya, etc. also being grown. And there is another thing, recirculating aquaculture system. Revolving aquaculture, same water has to be recirculated after filtration. It comes from the culture tank. It is filtered, foam fractionator, nitrifying biofilter, denitrifying biofilter, then UV disinfection and comes back to the culture tank. So that the same water, and you can have a small area itself, you can have large number of fish, and but the water does not get polluted because continuously you are recirculating it. And this is a view of the developed recirculatory aquaculture system. And then there is technological option for aquaculture in canal command. So I don't know how many of you have heard of cage culture and pen culture. Cage culture is also being followed in our country. In the cage culture, what happens? There are floating cages. So on the floats are basically made of PVC pipe, and then the whole thing floats in the water. Inside the water, it is all the six sides will be covered with the net, and a lot of fish will be there either in the canal or in the reservoir. And since it is flowing system, canal or the reservoir, there is plenty of water, so no chance of any pollution there. And so you can have very high stocking density there. In the pen culture, there is no net at the bottom. The bottom of the canal or the bottom of the reservoir itself is the base. So this is in a foreign country, in our country also. Yeah, this is at the Sarda Reservoir, Kumarda, Chhattisgarh. I have seen twice. I visited. This one in 2014 I visited, and this one recently 2025 October I visited. Uh, a huge quantity of pangas fish, tilapia, they are growing, and crores of rupees. The exact data I don't remember. The dean of the college, he was explaining, dean of the PhD college, and some government officers, they have given it on lease to farmers, and it's a huge reservoir, and there are many such cages. So the water anyway, it will go to the ultimately through the canal, it will go to the field. But when it goes, it will be slightly enriched, not much because the water volume is too much, and this whatever waste material comes from the fish here, that may not be much, but at least the water is not polluted. And it is not Spain. Fish is not consumer of water, but they are using it for growing some food material, food that is fish. Pain culture, as I told you, in the pain culture, it is at the bottom of the canal itself. You cannot shift it. Cage you can shift. So where you can have cage culture, where you can have pain culture, that has to be decided. And then on farm pond aquaculture, that means these are the places where you can put from the canal the water, and then you can culture fish here. And after that, it can go to the crop field. Rice cum fish culture has been also practiced. Automatically it grows, and deliberately you can stock them. And there are some other designs given for the rice cum fish culture. And now towards the end I am reaching where water flows, equality grows. Wherever people lack safe drinking water and sanitation close to their home, inequality flourishes, with women and girls bearing the brunt. So climate change is also exacerbating the inequality. And when the water is polluted, the unreliable, the scarce, women typically face the longer water collection times, reduced agricultural productivity, and greater losses in income. So water and gender responsible cleanliness and water and practice should be taken up. There should be promotion of safe water, sanitation and hygiene, strengthening the community-led solutions, and ensuring the SDG 6, which is the water and sanitation for all. And we say that 17 lakh liter per year per person is the bare minimum. And India has already reached 13.41. After independence, it was something like 55. So now, because of population increase, it has come down to 13.41. And there is Government of India Jal Jeevan Mission. It aims to provide tap water to 80% of the rural household. Already it is providing, but then people are also very irresponsible. Sometimes when I walk to the villages, I find the taps are all open. They don't care to close it. And as long as the water flow is there, uh, just gets wasted. So there some awareness, some enforcement are required actually. And then there is climate change, where water-related disasters to financing shortfall from social norms to governance gaps. We need everybody to play their full part, managing water as a common good. And then climate change is occurring, as all of us know, the integration of machine learning techniques and unmanned aerial vehicles, the UAV-based monitoring system. This is emerging as a promising strategy for improving the climate informed farm management and strengthening food security in climate sensitive agricultural regions. So we have to take out some of these modern techniques, this technology we have to use. A special visibility map can be generated from the UAV data, and it will be data that will support the precision farming strategy, allowing the need-based application of water, fertilizer, and crop protection measures. And this not only improves the crop productivity, but also contribute to the efficient utilization of water and agricultural inputs. So we have to use the machine learning, even artificial intelligence, UAV-based monitoring systems, some of the climate smart agriculture things. Conclusion. Now, some of the conclusions are noted here. Crops with low water requirements can mitigate the water problem to a large extent. And there is recognition of the multiple uses of water uh, may establish within many established irrigation system, they reveal many are productive and non-productive uses. Aquaculture is a water-dependent activity. It is productive, but it is non-consumptive. That is, it does not consume the water, and therefore, in principle, it is not in competition with the crop. Fish is not competing. The same water is going for irrigation. And aquaculture practices like pen or cage culture can be adapted within the canal command as well as the reservoirs. Where irrigation canals have got flowing conditions. And it will present less problem with water quality than occur within the other subsystem where stagnant water is there. Some recommendation, indiscriminate construction of tubewells should be stopped. Otherwise, in future, people will not get vintage water. And no tubewell can be energized without the approval of state water board. This should be implemented. It was there, but somehow or other is not being followed. Cultivation of boro paddy in light soils needs to be banned, and irrigation water should be judiciously used. Awareness should be created to stop wastage of water supply for public health. As I was telling, public health purposes, water is being supplied and people are keeping the tap open all the times. The food habits need to be changed to grow less water requiring crops. And also, we have to keep in mind the nutritional water productivity which may emphasized by selecting the crop cultivation. Intended use of water for agriculture, fishery, horticulture, animal husbandry need to be made. And runoff water harvesting, including the roof water harvesting, need to be made. So that's all I have to say. I think.
Thank you, sir.
Just I'll stop the share ring so that I can see you all.
So, sir, please, thank you very much, sir. And
Thank you all.
widely covered the water
Very
complete
quickly, I
pursuit,
tried to cover many things. So in a
starting
hurry,
from the source to conveyance and application, whether in the agriculture area, domestic area, its efficiency, water use efficiency, particularly water productivity, and advanced technology, and highlighted aquaculture pursuit, particularly in this.
I'm slightly biased towards aquaculture.
Right. Because you have diversified the agriculture engineers, or probably you are first person as an agriculture engineer who lead in aquaculture. So therefore, that clearly reflect here. So now, sir, in next, I am coming to our next activity and point, that is the panel discussion. In this discussion, Dr. P.K. Misra, I am requesting Dr. P.K. Misra to lead this panel discussion, and with a brief his bio. Dr. Misra, agriculture engineer and an RM specialist, earned his master's and PhD from IIT Kharagpur. Again, he is alumni from the IIT, and 2 years research stay at KIT Germany and DARD fellowship. His PhD work on him the Jawaharlal Nehru Award from ICR for his invention of waffle sluice. Of course, this particular work recognized by country as a whole. He retired as a director, ICR, Indian Institute of Soil and Water Conservation. And of course, 5 years we learned a lot from him at this institute. He later served as a consultant to ICRISAT till 2022. With more than 4 decades of professional service, he contributed 45 R&D projects in varied roles and responsibilities. As SRA at IIT Kharagpur, assistant engineer in Odisha, and principal scientist and All India project coordinator, trial and research at CRIDA, Hyderabad, and head IISWC Bellary Center. Some of his notable work and publication include the development of comprehensive drought management plan for undivided Andhra Pradesh. That plan was funded by World Bank. Documentation of ITKs on soil and water conservation across India, manual of watershed management and soil and water conservation structures published by ICR, also highly appreciated by academicians, and the students are also using this particular book. Dr. Misra represented India on the UN-based IPBS. Of course, you all are aware it is one of the reputed organization at the global level for land degradation and restoration assessment 2015 to 2018. His contribution to NRM have earned him many awards, recognition, and I am mentioning few among those. Dr. Basantrao Naik Award twice, Netaji Deshmukh Team Award of ICR, J. Venkat Sarlu Award for Excellence in Dryland Agriculture of ISDA, Institution of Engineers Eminent Engineers Award 2017. He is a member of various advisory bodies dealing with reward watersheds, drought management, and rainfed agriculture. Dr. Misra has over 150 publications, 28 books, and 4 copyrights. He has collaborated internationally with the USA, Germany, Austria, Australia, and Nepal on various R&D activities. As the president of Indian Society of Soil and Water Conservationists and the secretary Indian Society of Dryland Agriculture, Hyderabad, he contributed a lot. Presently, he is actively engaged in policy advocacy and social work with the NGO, and always he is in our touch, and wherever we find any difficulty, we consult him, and he is fully supporting us. So, to associate him, I am requesting Dr. Jigmet, Professor from Center of Agriculture, Dr. Neely from Kenya, Dr. Dadhichi from Jammu Agriculture University, and one of the economists, Dr. Imelda Ifyong from Nigeria. So please open your visuals, and I am requesting Dr. P.K. Mishra, sir.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Ambrish. Actually, I heard an excellent presentation by Dr. Mal, and there is no point left for others to understand. He has just started from land leveling to aquaculture, whatever water-based activities can be done in different ways, and given some glimpse of the work, so that depending on our interest, we can switch over and work on those areas. So thanks, Professor Mal, for a good start. Just before that, I want to just request Ambrish, how much time will be given, because it was given 5:40 to end this.
Within 30 minutes, sir.
Within 30 minutes. Okay, thank you. And may I again know the names of the 4 panelists?
Dr. Jigmet from Leh, Center of Agriculture.
It's
Dr. Neely from Kenya.
Neely. Okay.
Dr. Dadhichi from Agriculture University, Jammu, Socast.
Dadhich. Okay.
Dadhich, yeah.
Okay.
And Dr. Imelda Ifyong from Nigeria.
Imelda. Spelling?
Imelda.
Imelda. Okay. And they're all from agriculture background?
All from agriculture background.
Okay, good. Thank you. So it will be a really good thing. So once again, I welcome all as a panel discussions, my 4, and of course all the members who are present here, all are the equal opportunity panelists, but depending on our time, we'll just limit to some points and discussion to these 4 partners who are here from Leh, Kenya, and Dr. Imelda and Dr. Dadhichi from Jammu. So with this, for the shortage of time, I'm not able to. I just wish all here, all my seniors, colleagues, and my friends here, a happy and responsive World Water Day. And we all are concerned for this. So what I'll be, I'm thinking that is my perception of this, because we are discussing an integrated water, gender and agriculture framework. As we are from Indian Association of Soil and Water Conservationists, the organizer of this program. So we'll be limiting now to make within a short time to bring out something concrete towards solution. I'll be pointing out towards rainfed agriculture and watershed management. So the water will be the focus. Okay. So in that context, some questions I have framed myself. So we'll be going there, and I'll request the members like Madam Trisa and Ramanji ji. I think they may be taking note of that. Anyway, it is getting recorded also, so they can get and make the proceeding. So before starting to start with how I go about, so just think of women farmer. Okay, just in the center, you close your eyes and think that women farmer is there, and at one hand he is having a lot of work to collect water, and on the other hand we want her to be a manager. Okay, so whether both the things can be done easily, smoothly and efficiently, that you just think of. So what are the things we are expecting? One is water availability. Anyway, that depends on the nature in the rainfed system. That it means the rainfall, water availability. Then comes to soil part, that is water retention. Then it will go as runoff for the hydrologist to manage. Then once is stored and used, then it is coming towards water use efficiency. And finally, the full system goes towards water governance. Okay, that is the NRM system based on water, and at the center, the woman. So this is the framework in which I'll be just framing some questions, and will be my learned panelist will be discussing, and I'll just put few questions. So you may excuse me if I just uh, tell something out of the space. So we have to accommodate the things which are required in the context of our discussion. Rest thing we can just leave out. So that just to start with, as already I've been told by Professor Mall, that the hours every day collection of water by women, it is around 250 million hours every day globally women openly spend. Okay, about 250 million hours. So what does it mean? That means women form a substantial part of the farming workforce, yet have limited access to water, land and decision making. So we'll be focusing now. All you have this, Ambrish has told about the problem, Madhuji has told about the problem. Then now detail has been discussed by Professor Mal. So I am not going to talk about problem. Let us talk about some solution, few solution, because in 30 minutes what we can do, we cannot solve everything. Just let us discuss from our experience and observations by considering the women farmers at the center. Okay. So in that context, I will just put one question, very one question. I'll within 1 or 2 minutes will be getting the answers from four, starting from Jignet Madam, then Nile Madam, then Dadichi, then Imelda. Okay. So my first question is, what in your view is the single biggest gender gap in water that affects agriculture and natural resource management? That means the gap in the process of either to access gap or institutional gap or control gap. Okay, but around women. So can we just may I ask Mr. Dr. Jignet from Leh, just in one less than 1 minute, just give your inputs. What is the access gap or institutional gap or control gap, which you think is a key gender gap in water and agriculture?
Very good evening.
Yeah,
Namaste,
very good evening.
Julie. It's a
Yeah.
great honor for be a part of World Water Day today. I'm blessed that I got the opportunity to listen Dr. Malsar presentations. It's a really honor. The question you put, Dr. PK Mishraji, that what are the gaps? No?
Yeah.
Especially myself, I'm from Ladakh, and when you are talking about the Ladakh issues, that Ladakh is already known for the extreme that environment, harsh climatic conditions, and when we are talking about water issues, then yeah, in Ladakh, there we are facing such really on a ground level, we face water scarcity. And when you are talking about the gaps, institution gaps, now government provides so many policies, especially when you are talking about agriculture. They are very much they are supporting us on when you are talking about sustainable agriculture. But somewhere we need to strengthen, especially on a community system should be strengthened when you are talking about artificial glaciers, ice stupas. These are the things which need to be strengthened. Women alliance in self-help is one of the major key points I have seen, because women play a significant role in those areas. And when at the same time, when you upon this when that mulching technologies play significant role in places like Ladakh, because water scarcity, especially when women labor is the one of the major key point where mulching technology play a significant. These are the institution support which can be get. And you asked about one is institution gap, and another question what you asked, sir, is due to the net. I'm not able to hear.
Yeah, there is no problem. There is other gaps. One is the access gap, control gap, like that. So this is very important thing you have put. Now we can go to the next panelist, Dr. Nili. Okay, we'll come to again second round. We'll be coming with the next question.
Okay, sir.
Dr. Nili, please, from
All
Kenya.
right. Good. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm from Kenya, and thank you so much for this invitation. And I think the keynote speaker really brought out a number of things which are very similar also in Kenya. For us in Kenya, we are classified as a water scarce country with a per capita water availability of less than 1,000 cubic meters, the global benchmark. And this is because over 80% of the country is semi-dry, semi to arid asal area. So these are challenges. And of course, there are people there. So definitely the woman has to bear the brunt of walking many kilometers looking for clean, safe water for the family, not only for sanitation, for cooking and everything else. So that's really, access is a big problem. Our underground water, most of it, quite a bit of it is brackish, borehole water. So the issue of desalination, so trying to do that. So because the government tries to see how they can put up boreholes in equidistant kind of villages so that people can access it. In terms of infrastructure, the piped water, I was reading I think some of the things that have been there in Kenya is that we have old pipe water. So like in the town, so some of them have to be changed from the metal that was there put by the colonial times, or even just ducts that were there. So infrastructure is also still a challenge. But in the urban areas, we have at least about 80% is accessing clean and safe water, but in the rural areas is about 55 rural. But countrywide, we are talking between 60 to 80% relatively safe water. And that safe water, I'm saying that it is it has either it is including piped water.
Maybe quality.
Yeah, the quality, yes, yeah. So the
So
bottled water,
actually,
you know,
Neeli madam,
yes.
really you have brought out a very important thing like access gap. Like previously, Jigme told about this institutional gap. Now you have brought in Kenya, the access gap is very important. So that's why the infrastructure, then safe quality of water, etc. That will come. So
Indeed,
next,
indeed.
let me go to Dr. Dadichi from Jammu to give her ideas.
Thank you, sir. And this is my great opportunity, and I am as a part of this event, World Water Day. So actually, in our Jammu region, most of the around 60 to 70% of area, our rainfed area, and around 40% is our irrigated area. And when we are talking about the women part in case of agriculture, so here most of the time here women are engaged. Women are engaged in for safe drinking water and for their maveshi, for their like animals, and for that they are most of the time they are their time is consumed in this type of, and sanitation is the big problem. And water scarce, I think water scarcity is not only the technical issue, it is also social and gender issue also. When women participate in the water management, the solution become more sustainable and community driven. We are talking in Jammu region and as well as Kashmir region, we are talking about the sensor based technologies. There is a HADP projects also. But I think we are talking about sensor based technology, but we have to first of all find out the solution. What is the lacuna in ground level?
Yeah,
Because
that is very good. Actually, you are just focusing on the access as well as control because they don't have time to
yeah,
go for
yes, sir.
really engagement in other
Yes,
access
sir.
because they're so busy in their work as a team.
Sorry,
So I think
sir.
we can now go to Dr. Imelda for her views on these gaps because we are discussing on gaps now. Please.
I think, sir, due to signal
Yeah.
problem, internet
Okay, no
glitches.
problem. Then we'll talk with him. If she comes in between, we'll be engaging with her. Okay.
Okay.
So this, thank you, madam. I think that we got, and I thank Ambrish particularly. Actually, she managed to put the gender issue in the right perspective. I told that who are my panelists. Then he has managed nicely. I think we are getting very good participants as panelists. And anyway, if time permits, we'll go to our other people, all 69 participants who are here to get some good idea. So let me come to the theme. I have put it in three themes. One is, first theme is my water access and agriculture productivity. That is my first theme. And second theme is governance and institutions, NRM focus. And third theme is climate change and resilience. Okay. So and here everywhere we'll put at the center stage the women. So on this I'll put one or two questions, then you will be giving your answers, and we'll just conclude with the inputs from your side, and then the organizers will add value to that, and we'll have a very good proceeding. Then coming to the first theme, that is on water access and agriculture productivity. Let us move to this theme. How does unequal access to water affect agriculture productivity for women farmers? How does unequal access, now we discuss about access as a gap. How does unequal access to water affect agricultural productivity for women farmers. Okay, and this to make you comfortable in the question, just some follow-ups I will be giving. Is irrigation access or access of the stored water in the watershed in forms of tanks or reservoirs or something like that, is the irrigation access still largely mediated by land ownership? Okay, whether ownership is having some issue with that. What happens in rainfed or watershed regions like tribal areas or different ecosystem? The way Madam told about Ladakh is very specific ecosystem. Like that, in Kenya, there is different, completely semi-arid regions, particularly really rain-fed crops will come there. Then third one is, can improving water access alone close productivity gaps? That means whether only access is there. So with this, keeping this in mind, you may find some other constraints beyond this. Beyond water also some other constraints may be there, but is linked to water. If this thing is done, then our water system vis-a-vis NRM will improve. So my question is, how does unequal access to water affect agriculture productivity for women farmers? Though, Madam Jignet, please.
Yes,
Hello.
please.
Yes, Dr.
Sir.
Jignet. Your
Yes,
answer,
sir.
please. Yeah, please.
Hanji, sir. Uneven, definitely uneven water supply affects crop productivity. In places like Ladakh, I already mentioned that they are having a very extreme harsh climate when minus 35 to plus 35 temperature. Under such circumstances, when you are not able to access sufficient water for irrigation, then it's definitely affect the crop production, and its major effects on women's workload, because in places like Ladakh, maximum women are engaged in agriculture. 12 to 16 hours, most of the women are engaged in not only in a home job, but maximum they are engaged in agriculture point of view. And the males are especially search of bread and butter. They have to migrate from one place to another. Under such circumstances, the major workload of agriculture depends from sowing to harvesting, maximum workload on the women itself. And when you are talking about the limitations of water, when there is a climate change issues, when there is no snowfall, because Ladakh totally depend upon snowfall. When we are not getting sufficient snowfall in a winter, then our summers become so hard, especially for women, because our irrigations totally depend. I already mentioned that most of the women are engaged in agriculture, and women's facing so much issues, not even for irrigation, but conflict between neighbors and conflict between society. Such types of conflicts, small fighting between women and such things happens, and which is not a good sign.
Okay, Madam, actually, you have just hit the card. That is that conflict actually that has
conflict,
come due to
water scarcity,
improper water access and
yeah,
unavailability of water at a particular time, and one's source dependent on many persons. Okay,
many
many
person,
people are
because
depending on one source. So that is good. That point will be taking from you, and I'll be moving to Dr. Nili Kenya for other part, because now one thing is sure that access still largely mediated, and the improvement to water access alone cannot close productivity. There are other things like conflict resolutions and all those things also has to go on. Yes, Nili madam, please.
Yes, thanks. Definitely what Jigmet has said, of course, there'll be conflicts because of resource, lack of enough resources for these communities. So what the farmers now are learning to do is that they're now looking at drought-resistant crops that they can put in place to grow. Water mechanisms of even when it rains, can they put water pans? Can they create dams? I've seen in communities where farmers around one area, they help each other. One day they're in one farm, let's dig a hole up, that can collect water. The next day, they all go to the next farmer. So it's collectively. And I saw in one time a year, they had water, rain which rained in February, they still had water in September, because that year was a dry area, but they all work together. But those are just specific communities. But in the dry areas, it can be a challenge. It can be a challenge, but I think what we are doing is government is looking at just water ponds. How can
I
they
think that
create
is
water
a very
ponds?
good thing you have told about the collective management. Though
Yes,
water is available for a longer period, but unless we manage properly, and it should be a part of our culture also. Slowly, have a
exactly.
scientific culture put to the
Indeed.
social culture. So that is a very good thing. Then, Madam Dadichi, please.
Yes, sir. I
Ah.
agreed with my colleague. In our Jammu region, as I told you, that around 40% is irrigated area. So when we are talking about the farmers, because they have plenty of water, but when we are talking about you have to use the precisely water, but they said ki, we don't need that one. But they are using excess of water, and our rain-fed area, they have scarcity of water, and they not even grow vegetable crops, and they are taking only one crop, one or two crop in whole year, in the Kharif and Rabi season, and totally depend on the rainfall. So I think it's a big challenge, because when we are talking about the drip and sprinkler irrigation system in our irrigated area, they told ki, why we need. But we are trying to explain them ki, when you save that water, that can be used for the different crops, and as well as for the rain-fed area also. If you are saving rainwater harvesting and rainwater harvesting, so you can irrigate your crop, one or two irrigation in your rain-fed area. So
Yeah,
that's all
actually, that is
from
a
my side.
good thing. That means the technology has to take the center stage. All the rainfed area technologies, we should be
Yes, sir.
aware. And the training module, etc., should be women oriented also, because they are doing
Yes, sir.
more work. So they should be a part of this program. Okay. Then
Yes, sir.
coming to this is one thing. They were nicely, we all have agreed to some points. Now we come to the second theme, is governance and institutions. So we'll be focusing towards NRM. Okay, it is not a simply monoculture system like paddy or wheat or something like that. You think of a rainfed and watershed system where this NRM focus is there on governance and institution, keeping the women at the focus. So my question is, why are women still underrepresented in water governance institutions such as water use association, watershed committees, etc.? Why are women still underrepresented? It is due to their work, or they don't have time to do this, or we knowingly neglect them, or they don't have knowledge, or is land ownership the key barrier, or participation norms are tokenistic, not really meaningful? What institutional reforms are needed? So those things you can give in a just in a sentence or so, because we have to go little fast. Governance and institutions. So Dr. Jignet, madam, please.
Dr. Imelda is also connected, sir.
Please.
Dr. Imelda is also connected.
Very good. I will take a note from her. So first, Dr. Jignet, please, on this question, governance and institutions. Why
Governance
are
and
women still underrepresented? So that is the question.
the main women's, especially in the hillier areas, the workload is definitely much as compared to men. And at the same time, they are lacking in the decision making, you know. Most of the women, they don't want to come out from their own cocoon because of lack of educations, and to, as well as ownership is another issues for places like our hilly areas, because still women's not get that ownership where they can speak on it. Main is education is the major problems. Most of the time they are engaged in fetching the water as well as agriculture point of. Now this generation now, women's, most of the women are educated Before there was, most of the farmers are uneducated, and that is the major issue.
Yeah, thank you,
that,
Dignath madam. I
thank
think
you.
we understood that education
sir.
part. But coming to lay, I think women take a very strong stand because I have
Yeah,
visited
but
the place.
when you are talking about the governance and leadership, they are
Yeah,
still
they're backseat. Yeah, they don't come
they are on the back
forward.
seat
Yeah,
for
good,
decision
very good.
making, Otherwise, they are mostly they are
They're socially and culturally they're on the
social and
forefront.
culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Dr. Nilik, please, your views.
Yeah, so I think it's the same sentiments in terms of socio-cultural norms as well. We have a lot of, cultural norms that prevent women from speaking in public, attending meetings or challenging men's leadership in community water management, lack of resources and land ownership. Not many women are owning land, but some, when with education, I think that is quite key. You are finding women doing that. Institutional barriers, also they lack, there are few female mentors. So if they can see a female mentor up there, then they can think, oh, okay, if she's there, then we can be able to be part of that. So limited training and opportunities for women in some of these cases where
Actually,
we can have.
one good point I got, that is mentorship by female themselves, so that they
Indeed.
will feel at home to discuss
Yes,
their problems and all, and how to take it forward. So then
indeed.
coming to Dr. Dadichi, your point, please.
Agreed with my my colleague Dr. Jigmat and Dr. Neeli that our society is male dominant society, and most of I observe here that most of the female or male want that female should care her family well, not in agriculture. And most of for some cases women can go for the pickle making or fruit processing industry also, but not in agriculture. Direct
That is
involvement in
one good thing, that still that patriarchy is there in some part of the area. We have to accept it, but slowly it is fading away. So women are taking care of the things, but we have to take them to the control position. Okay, it is not that
Yes.
they will be only helpers. Okay, they will be at the
Mhm.
driving seat. Then
Yes, that's
yeah.
why we are going for the pressurized irrigation system, like sprinkler
Sure. The
irrigation system.
technology will
It's
change the mindset.
yeah,
Then
yeah.
coming to our new um, uh, uh, Impelda.
Imelda.
Impelda, please. We want your views on that. Sorry that we lost some time. You are not being connected with us. So can you please talk, if you have listened to my question, can you please give your views on that? Dr.
Dr.
Impelda.
Imelda,
Dr. Imelda. I think it's still
I
some
think
problem.
it's
Okay.
still some glitch. Okay, sir.
Then we'll go to the third theme, is climate change and resilience. Okay. So here, how does climate variability like drought, erratic rainfall affect women farmers differently? Okay. Maybe depending on the resource access and all, it will not be like in America and Kenya. It will not be same for the farmers. Okay. So this is just a simple example. Does the increase women's labor burden, whether this is this climate variability? One, are women more vulnerable or also more adaptive? Vulnerable as well as adaptive. They will take care with less water also. What role can watershed management play in reducing this vulnerability? Okay, naturally, when we are doing watershed management, our resource conservation will be better. We can do so. In this, where just this is some follow-ups I have given. So, what is your opinion, Dr. Jigmet?
Yes, so when you are talking about climate change, yeah, definitely in a hilly place, we are observing every year we facing such climate change issues. There is a pros and cons of climate change for those hilly areas. one positive thing that in Ladakh now farmers are, especially women's farmers, can grow more and more cash crop and they can enhance their income now. On the same time, they can take a two crop. Or before there was only a single crop in a 6 month. Now they are taking two crop, which is one of the positive from one point of view. And at the same time, when we are talking about negative, then there's so many pests and insects are coming, which is one of the major issues in because Ladakh is divided into three zones as per the altitude. And when in a lower altitude, there are mostly major crop insects and pests effects on those cash crop only, which is the source of livelihood for them. This is the climate change issue. So
Yeah. I
when
think that is know how these economics can drive, but the adversaries due to
adversary,
climate
yeah,
change, like
definitely
insects and all those things,
insects and pests, which
we have to educate and learn the techniques,
techniques
skills.
and trainings
Yeah,
should be given as per the climate change. And when
yeah.
the new
Like
crops
your agromet advisories and all that should be
advisories is one of the
gender
biggest,
friendly.
gender friendly, yes.
Okay. Then Dr. Nili, please.
Yes, of course, the household burden just increases. They become vulnerable. The cultural roles make the women responsible for collecting the water and the firewood. So, of course, when the droughts increase, then now their workload increases because they have got to look for these things together with their children as well, leading to time poverty, increased vulnerability, gender-based violence as well, because sometimes they work too long and they can't come back home in time to even take back the water. Of course, the resource scarcity is there, but the adaptive, maybe what I can say is that now looking at some of even the crops that were there before, drought resistant, we've introduced a number of crops, but some people are now thinking about what was there as indigenous crops that they can grow, they can now provide for their families. Technology is, of course, helping with short
Yeah. I
rotation
think that
crops.
I got your
Yeah,
point. This indigenous crop is the most important. Now we are losing the strain now slowly.
exactly. Yeah.
So that is that indigenous technology I used to tell always. So this indigenous crop is the most important. You may get little less production, but you will get a stable production. Okay. So that
Indeed.
is
Yeah.
the way we'll take it. So coming to Mrs. Dadiji, your point, please.
Yes, sir. I think climate change variability and like erratic rainfall pattern, and this will also affect the woman working load also. Somewhere like uh, when drought is when there is a drought, then woman can more time spent in the agriculture field. But one positive thing with the woman, I think that she has a saving quality, like in the home. She can manage in limited resources.
Yeah,
Uh,
that is a very important thing you
is
have
it
shown.
either it is money, either it is resources? So resources may be water,
That
maybe
we can
food,
call
maybe
the
anything.
adaptive capacity of the woman is
Yes, sir,
better
that's all.
from
Yeah,
family to farm. Okay,
yeah,
so that
yeah.
is a good thing. And now
Thank you, sir.
the last point I'll give, just you take one sentence you should tell. Please suggest one actionable interventions, policy or program or practice that can realistically be implemented in the next 2 to 3 years to improve gender equity in water and agriculture. For example, joint land titles, mandatory representation in water user association, women-led water budgeting, targeted irrigation schemes. Like this, something may come to your mind, which may be thinking that if this is done, then things will be better for women as well as for the environment. So, same way we'll go, Dr. Jignet, please.
Yes, so the solution,
Yeah,
Ladakh is blessed with the solar, and such solar resources can be
yeah.
utilized by solar. Solar micro irrigation can be one of the best solutions for those women's for digestion reduction as well as water conservation point of view. And when water budgeting, yeah, the Churpon system in Ladakh, there was a one strengthened
I think there's enough
traditional
power,
system.
energy, solar energy power, which has to be harnessed
Yeah,
there. That is
Solar,
one very good
traditional
solution.
zinc system should be maintained. That is zinc.
Yeah.
We want this
Okay.
other to recharge the groundwater, and
Yeah.
and Churpon system to manage the water institutionally on the community basis. There is a Churpon. They are managing the entire village water management. Then that should be from the women's can be drawn so that they can
Women.
manage very nicely.
Okay.
Like
I
a
got
home,
the
they
point.
can manage the entire. These are the
I
three
think this
points
is,
which
you
I
have
feel.
rightly told the points. Yeah. Then Dr. Neeli, please.
So that I don't repeat what Madam Jagmet has said is that in addition, because there are places where it's working. So if we have exchange programs, like what I've explained, that where you have communities that where they can help each other, so that you move communities who are traditionally pastoralists, because now people are going into agriculture, they can learn. Secondly, mentorship. I'm talking about encouraging girls to take science and technology courses. They can see other women taking them. Can they be involved in leadership, in even community leadership for water management, even at county level? We are seeing that in Kenya, and that can also encourage. And where we have them is that we can have the
I
two
think that
gender mix.
you have just put your point nicely. That is co-learning. That means we have to
Co-learning.
learn from each other. If we are
Exactly.
getting something good, you should learn from us and we should learn from you. And at that level, at the women's level, they should participate and all, not that we should lead the program. Okay. So that is
Also
the
have
thing.
the two gender together
Yeah.
also in a meeting. So
They
the
will be
men,
connecting, but
yeah,
it will be led by
they can
women.
explain.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Then next is Dadichi, madam.
Thank you, sir. I think this is my perception. I don't know. Women are more sincere.
Yes.
So I think with the help of our Sameti program, then our KVKs, we can educate the irrigation technologies, new technologies, so that they can apply that technologies in their kitchen garden as well as their farmhouses. So that's all from my side, sir.
Okay. Thank you. I think you have given. So whatever I have understood all those things, and we have discussed something. So some points I have taken from you all, and this is what in the first that key gender gaps in water and agriculture. So what I have we have discussed about access gap, institutional gap, and control gap. So access without control is ineffective. Control without participation is unsustainable. Participation without institution is symbolic. It is just a symbolic. It cannot go ahead. And coming to other process, when women have access to water, agriculture outcomes improve. Okay. Inclusive water governance within women at this center stage leads to better management of resources, and gender responsive systems are essential for climate adaptation, because we talked about climate also. So water is not gender neutral. Okay. Because what we are discussing now about water, we are seeing that women has a greater stake in this full water system, starting from family to farm. So water is not gender neutral, but water solution can and must be gender inclusive. That means both genders should come together, but we should put them on the forefront, the women. I think all our panelists and the audience have done a very good job, but audience have not given any time for, they have good listeners, and some questions might have come at the end. I think if time permits, the organizer will take those questions and will try to solve them. So let us continue that where water flows, equity truly grows. So on
Thank you,
this
sir.
note, I think I can finish it. Thank you very much for giving. I have just exceeded some time, so but sorry for that. But we had some fruitful discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And your finding, whatever made here, particularly for the women's, are more responsible in its role for particularly water management is more than the male. Recently, for the spring rejuvenation, Planning Commission of Country Niti Ayog is choking out a plan for incentives for development of springs, and in this incentive program, women's identification is larger than male. So now coming to our next follow-up remarks, Dr. Rajiv Kumar Singh, Chief Editor, Indian Journal of Soil Conservation. Rajiv Kumar Singh ji. I think he is disconnected.
इनका दे दो डॉक्टर रमन जी.
Dr. Ramanji. Before that, sir, being a Vice President of Indian Association of Soil and Water Conservationists, because many participants here is new, so only introduce about this. This association is established in 1972 at Dehradun. It is a non-profit group that works to protect soil and water and promote proper land use for the benefit of the people. Total life members of this association is around 2,500, institutional members 35, and recently we started student members, and that we are gaining slowly and slowly. So far, national symposium conferences we organized, number is 23. Publications, there are 2 publications. One, Indian Journal of Soil Conservation, that is quarterly publication in a year. And of course, it is key indexing, global scholar, and cross-reference, and CAB international listing. And second one, Watershed Bulletin, success story. Annually, this is published. So any member who is interested to share their experiences, what we're discussing here, also they have opportunity to send their article or their experiences, and we can include in Watershed Bulletin. This association awards and recognition for exemplary worker in the area of the water and soil conservation. So life member achievements, IS SWC Fellow, Dr. KG Tejwani Award, Dr. DN Puri Award, Gold Medal, Young Scientist Award, Young Soil Conservationist Field Functionaries, and Budding Scientist, and Best Researcher Award. Best research papers that is published in our journals and also in our conferences. And a part of this, I am requesting to everyone, we are going to organize global conference on the theme of global conference is living with nature, empowering communities with ecosystem insights. The date, November 19 to 21, 2026. So I am requesting to mark your calendar this particular date and try to participate in this conference. And venue this year, international conference is at Dehradun. And Dehradun is one of the beautiful place. This is lying in the Himalayan lap. And of course, we are welcoming you if you are planning to attend this conference. So with this, I am requesting President.
Any collaboration you can request?
Because a number of scientists and are people from different organization is connected here, and they are joining this particular event. So I am again requesting if any collaboration from your side for this particular event as a total, or collaborating for any session, and whose session is if you are planning from your side, so also we can collaborate. So as a whole, or as a part, whatever you are interested, we can happy to come with you. So now I'm requesting President of Indian Association of Soil and Water Conservationists, Dr. M. Madhu, for his remarks. And before remarks, just we can take few queries and questions from participants, sir.
Yeah, please, you can go ahead. People are there.
If two or a couple of questions we can take. So anyone,
You can,
please.
they can raise the hand so that will be known better.
Okay.
Those who wish to have a question,
Yeah.
please raise your hand.
Okay.
Virtual.
Okay. So please on text and chat box also mention your questions, queries, suggestions, and that we shall try to answer from through our experts, and the suggestions whatever for us that we will try to incorporate ourselves. So thank you. Now inviting President.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Amrish Kumarji. First of all, I express my sincere gratitude to Professor and Dr. Vimal Chand Malji for his excellent presentation covering the integrated approach of water management, covering lot of both national and international the technological interventions. And also, I express sincere thanks to Dr. P.K. Mishraji for nicely conducting this panel discussion. And also, I appreciate the panelists. Of course, all are women participants. That is much more appreciated. Now, my final, I also congratulate and appreciate those who have joined in this deliberation. I think take away some of the useful messages to save water for the future generation. The one point I would like to mention is that as a woman, they play both at the household level and also the particularly igniting the attitudinal change in the young mind that is much more required at the household level and also at the institutional level. Because being a growing person or grown up person, we are our attitude, it is very difficult to change with respect to this kind of conservation attitude and other thing. And of course, the women they can play a vital role for the future generation where we are talking the water give to the future generation so that they will be much more educated and create awareness about the conservation aspect. I hope we successfully organize the deliberation with respect to the World International Water Day. And thank you very much for your wholeheartedly participations. If any such program they wish to organize, particularly from Ethiopia or Kenya, those who are joined from the international other country, you would like to even online deliberation, anything to be done with the Indian Association of Soil and Water Conservation, you can write to us. That definitely at the regional level, any issues are there, problem is there, not only related to the water, as the integrated approach for natural resource conservation, we can discuss and we can deliberate on that. Wherever it is possible, we can join. And already Dr. Ramriji has told we are organizing global conference, international conference as Dehradun. You are most welcome, and those who wish to join as a collaborator, again, it is the welcome. And particularly, I thank Dr. Amrish Kumarji and his team, and Dr. Raman, and also Dr. Trisha Rai, and other the executive members for their valuable suggestion and input, insight toward this association and also this event. Yeah, with this, let us hope that let us count and conserve each drop of water for the future generation. Dhanyawad. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir. Now, Dr. Ramanjit Singh, Secretary.
Yes, sir. I am here, sir.
Just before you, 2-3 seconds. In this event, sir, few participants, particularly from Mr. Bright Aster from Ghana and Dr. Joseph from Zambia, all their academicians, Dr. Kodke, Dean, College of Agriculture Engineering, Parbani, Dr. Mani from Kerala, and Dr. Ashish Pandey from IIT Kharagpur. I express my sincere thanks for joining, and your suggestions also I am requesting, if any. So please mention in chat box, and due to paucity of time, we could not spare time for your valuable inputs in this particular event. So thank you from my side, and now requesting Dr. Ramanjit Singh, Secretary, Indian Association of Soil and Water Conservationists, to express vote of thank.
Yeah, before that, I am very sorry to mention here is that some of the useful linkage with respect to the design aspect and also the estimation part, it is available in reward. I think we need try to link up with association website also, that we will do it. You can make use of those the design, the some of the small calculator or design type, software type. Even you can teach to the student, particularly for the designing of soil and water conservation measures, and even including the estimate. Okay, thank you.
Dr. Ramanjit Singh.
Okay, sir. We are the end of the session, so it is customary to propose the vote of thanks. So already my this work has been solved by our president and our vice president. They have already proposed vote of thanks, but also I am also proposing. So first of all, I am very much thankful to our eminent speaker of the session, Dr. B.C. Mal, who has given a very good brainstorming lecture to igniting us regarding the World Water Day. And equally, I am thankful to our president, Dr. M. Madhu, who has ignited us to organize this very important event of the association. And special thanks to Dr. Amrish Kumar, Vice President, and who has organized this session in a very less time. And we are also thankful to our panelist chairman, Dr. P.K. Mishra, who is former president of the association, who has done very good brainstorming session to ignite us and to sensitize us regarding the women and water. I only want to say that W is for water and W is for women. I think that this is the ultimate lesson for us. And I'm also thinking that in the next year, we will also propose an award for the women researcher who are doing the very good work in soil and water conservation. This award we are missing in our association. So next year we will definitely, I will put this agenda in our EC meeting. And we are especially thankful to our international delegates like Dr. Jigmet Vangshan from Leh, and Dr. Susmita Dadij, Dr. Imelda, Dr. Neil, also from Kenya, and others whose names I am missing. So you are also welcome to our international conference in Dehradun. We will meet face to face also that time. And I'm equally thankful to all the participants who have joined us. I think at the peak time, it was 70 participants were there. We were not expecting because of this evening of the holiday. Sunday, everyone want to enjoy with their family, but you are with us. So thank you very much. And special thanks to our the persons who are behind the curtain, like Amit and Jai Kishan, who are organizing this from the behind scene. So thank you very much. And at the last, I'm thankful to all and all, and especially direct and indirect involvement. So thank you very much, and we will meet in the international conference.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Leaving the meeting, Dr. Amrish Kumar. Now I'm leaving the meeting.
Okay, thank you, sir. Namaste.
Namaste, namaste.
Namaste.
Hello,
Thank you, sir.
Namaste,
Thanks, sir.
Namaste, sir. Dhanyavad. Thank you.
Namaste,
Thank
namaste.
you. Thank you, everyone.
So,
Thank you.
Sir Dr.